Lesson 10, Review, Reading, Memories.
My father built his house on land owned by my grandfather. I could walk out our back door, through our yard, through Grandmother's yard, right into her back door. Her house and yard were tremendous in size. Grandmother's house always smelled of cooking or baking and wood fires in the fireplace. There was a library in my grandmother's house where she spent lots of her time. When I wanted to, I could go into the library and look at the books. In one corner of the room was a big desk with a top that came down. On the desk was a piece of paper that Grandmother had cut out of a book. It said, "Put I before E except after C." This is one spelling rule I have never forgotten. When I think of the geography of my early years, I think of those two houses and yards and of the two people who lived across the street in front of our house. I could go to any of those places and I was welcome at all of them. I had been away from home for many years before I came back. I had told my son how big my grandmother's house was. I had told him where we kept our little horse and all the other stories a mother tells a child. Then we went back to see it. The house I had lived in looked very small. My grandmother's house was really not tremendous in size. The yard was no bigger than our own now. My son looked at me. "I thought you said your grandmother's house was a great big one," he said. I could only say something like, "Well, maybe it seemed bigger because I was only a little girl." When we went back to the house where my husband grew up, there was nothing there. It had been torn down to make room for the growing city. My husband was sad. But for my child, his father's house will always be exactly as it was in his father's mind, because there is nothing left with which to compare it. We know that the house was rather large, and the children and kittens filled the house with warmth and laughter. Who is to question that this was not so?
Now answer these questions about the reading. Listen to the model.
1. Where was my grandmother's house?
A. It was behind my house.
A. It was behind my house.
A. It was behind my house.
Now do the exercise.
1. Where was my grandmother's house?
A. It was behind my house.
2. What did I smell in my grandmother's house?
B. Cooking and baking.
3. What was on Grandmother's desk?
C. A piece of paper with a spelling rule.
4. When do you write EI instead of IE?
A. After the letter C.
5. Why didn't my grandmother's house look big anymore?
A. I had gotten bigger.
6. Why couldn't my husband see his old home?
A. It had been torn down.
Review of grammar. 1. Verb expressions followed by infinitive. Fill the blanks with the correct form of the verb expression in the parentheses.
1. B2. The meeting is to be held at 1 o'clock next week.
2. Be about to. That lady looks like she's about to cry.
3. Be able to. Did he say that he would be able to come tomorrow?
4. Have to. John planned to play ball, but he had to stay after school.
5. Used to. I live in New York now, but I used to live in Washington.
6. Be about to. Jim was about to leave the house when his mother called him.
7. Be supposed to. He told me that we are not supposed to build a fire in the woods.
8. Be going to. I wonder when they are going to announce the discovery.
9. Be to. They've changed the time of the lecture. It was to be at 7:30. Now it's going to be at 8 o'clock.
10. Be able to. I've had several things on my mind recently. I was not able to sleep well all week.
2. Irregular verbs. Not only, but also. Answer the questions with yes in a conjoined sentence having not only, but also. Use the cued words in the but also clause. Use the substitution forms him, them, that, then, and there where appropriate. Follow the models.
1. Did you bet your brother? My uncle.
Yes, I not only bet him, but I also bet my uncle.
2. Did he dream about finding a gold mine? Retiring in Florida.
Yes, he not only dreamt about that, but he also dreamt about retiring in Florida. Now you do the exercise.
1. Did you bet your brother? My uncle.
'Yes, I not only bet him, but I also bet my uncle.'
2. Did he dream about finding a gold mine? Retiring in Florida.
'Yes, he not only dreamt about that, but he also dreamt about retiring in Florida.
3. Did the tree fall on the tent? On the camp stove.
'Yes, it not only fell on that, but it also fell on the camp stove.'
4. Did Russ feed the pigs? The chickens and ducks.
'Yes, he not only fed them, but he also fed the chickens and ducks.'
5. Did George Miller lay his glasses on the stove? His gloves.
'Yes, he not only laid them on the stove, but he also laid his gloves.'
6. Did the moon light the garden? The backyard.
'Yes, it not only lit that, but it also lit the backyard.'
7. Did the wind blow all afternoon? All evening.
'Yes, it not only blew then, but it also blew all evening.'
8. Did the suitcase hold the rope? The sleeping bag.
'Yes, it not only held that, but it also held the sleeping bag.'
9. Did they set the date for the picnic? For the boat trip.
'Yes, they not only set the date for that, but they also set the date for the boat trip.'
10. Did Mr. Decker sweep the porch? The driveway.
Yes, he not only swept that, but he also swept the driveway.
Did he mean that there's a crisis in housing? There's a crisis in agriculture.
Yes, he not only meant that, but he also meant that there's a crisis in agriculture.
Did Annie draw a horse? A deer.
Yes, she not only drew a horse, but she also drew a deer.
Did you seek help from your sister? From a doctor.
Yes, I not only sought help from her, but I also sought help from a doctor.
Did the skirt fit Connie? Jean.
Yes, it not only fit her, but it also fit Jean.
Verbs followed by infinitive or gerund. Complete the sentences with the infinitive or the gerund form of the verbs in parentheses.
1. Fix. They refused to fix it before Friday.
2. Draw. She's been practicing drawing since yesterday.
3. Sprinkle. It didn't stop sprinkling until noon.
4. Catch. The police managed to catch one of the robbers.
5. Become. At one time, he considered becoming a meteorologist.
6. Build. Tom learned to build a fire in the woods when he was a Boy Scout.
7. Have. They expect to have at least one blizzard every winter.
8. Sell. The publisher recommended selling the book for $8.95.
9. Catch. I'm not going to risk catching a cold.
10. Change. The weather seems to change every day.
11. Get. We hope to get a new roof on before winter.
12. Eat. The Marches can't afford to eat in a restaurant very often.
13. Have. Does his wife appreciate having a dishwasher?
14. Promise. Be. Mr. Smith denied promising to be in New York on the 20th.
15. Consider. Assist. Uncle Jim agreed to consider assisting Alex.
4. So plus adjective or adverb plus that clause. Answer the questions with yes and a sentence having so plus adjective or adverb plus that clause. Use a form of the auxiliary verb can. Follow the models.
1. Is Mr. Weaver too tired to walk?
Yes, he's so tired that he can't walk.
2. Do they speak too fast for you to understand?
Yes, they speak so fast that I can't understand. Now do the exercise.
1. Is Mr. Weaver too tired to walk?
Yes, he's so tired that he can't walk.
2. Do they speak too fast for you to understand?
Yes, they speak so fast that I can't understand.
3. Was she too sick to get up?
Yes, she was so sick that she couldn't get up.
4. Did you come too late to get any food?
Yes, I came so late that I couldn't get any food.
5. Is it too cold for us to go swimming?
Yes, it's so cold that we can't go swimming.
6. Is the tent too heavy to carry?
Yes, it's so heavy that we can't carry it.
7. Were they laughing too loud to hear the music?
Yes, they were laughing so loud that they couldn't hear the music.
8. Have we gone too far to turn back?
Yes, we've gone so far that we can't turn back.
Review of vocabulary. 1. Negative prefixes and suffixes. Complete each sentence with a negative form of the words in parentheses. Form negatives with the prefix in, im, un, or dis, or the suffix less.
1. Button. Are we going out again? I've already unbuttoned my coat.
2. Like. His wife dislikes the color of the bedroom.
3. Successful. Their search for the missing watch was unsuccessful.
4. Noise. Our air conditioner is almost noiseless.
5. Friendly. The new neighbors never talk to us. They're very unfriendly.
6. Formal. They said that informal clothes would be all right.
7. Lock. He got out his keys in order to unlock the trunk.
8. Polite. Isn't it impolite to put your arms on the table?
9. Pleased. We were displeased with the results.
10. Comfortable. I wonder why this chair's so uncomfortable.
11. Ability. Now Stan regrets his inability to play a musical instrument.
12. Taste. The dessert wasn't very good. It was tasteless.
13. Tie. Sue untied the dog and took him for a walk.
14. Agreement. The disagreement was on the subject of pensions.
15. Lucky. Sometimes I'm just unlucky.
16. Patient. The children can't wait. They're getting impatient.
2. Verbs. Complete these sentences by filling in the correct form of one of the listed verbs. Some verbs are used more than once. Listen.
Cool. Crawl. Fall. Feed. Have. Keep. Lean. Make. Meet. Seek. Shine. Suffer. Take. Wade.
Now complete the sentences.
1. There are many factors to take into consideration.
2. The next morning the tent was leaning against a tree.
3. The children took off their shoes and waded into the water.
4. Bob fed the fire again and again.
5. We need more parks to meet the recreational needs of the people.
6. We still have need of uniforms for the team.
7. They fell in love in the springtime.
8. A downpour cooled the air for a couple of hours.
9. The birds are suffering from the cold weather this week.
10. It's not an easy job to keep house for a husband and 9 children.
11. Harry and his wife take turns driving.
12. The sun will be shining by this afternoon.
13. Mr. Anderson's argument doesn't make sense to me.
14. The baby crawled to the porch.
15. Can you keep a secret, Johnny?
16. Dr. Grunwald made that discovery while he was seeking the answer to another question.
End of Lesson 10.